So since it's harder in this hot market to buy a resale than it is in other markets, should I consider buying a new build? Is often the question I'm asked.
Moving forward with the DekkerTeam. Moving forward together with the DekkerTeam.
At the DekkerTeam, we're so excited that we've been able to, for over 30 years now, journey alongside you to answer this kind of question and so many others. And buying a new build can be a really awesome strategy and certainly one worth considering. And yet there are some things to think about that at first glance may not even be evident.
Yeah. Some of them, well, first, not everybody knows that they can work with a realtor for a new home sales.
Wait, say that again. I think that could be said probably 100 times and still not hit home. So maybe say it slowly even.
So you can, and I would advise you to work with a realtor at a new home purchase from a builder. And we can represent you. There's a few things behind it. Number one, let us contact the new home sale site with you first. Don't send an email first. Send an email to us first, and we can guide you through that process. We can protect you. We can look out for your best interest and make sure what lot and what house you're buying makes sense. One for resale, one for you moving forward, and two, sometimes builders like to throw little extras in there telling you it's a premium lot. And yet, yes, it is a premium lot because you're paying for the fence at the back of the yard to block the road noise out. It's not going to increase your value when you go to sell down the road. It will actually decrease your value, but you paid premium for that lot and just lost that money. So things like that we can protect and look forward. And as long as you know that ahead of time and you're like, Candace, that's okay. I still want to buy this lot. Great. But at least you know.
Right. So knowing is really the thing that we're talking about here. Know what you're getting yourself into. And I have many realtor friends, many that have been on our teams and worked in our brokerage over the last, decades, and that have worked for new home sales site, and they're licensed realtors and they know their business and they're fantastic. And when you wander into a sales site, they are representing the builder.
They are. Yeah.
There just isn't any way around it. And rightly so. That's who has hired them to assist you as you wander into the sales site. Mm-hmm. And so even if they're somebody you know and you love and they're even your best friend, technically and really, they are representing the builder. And so by having a realtor that goes with you, that understands construction, understands floor plans, understands even how you would want a house positioned on a lot, understands, because sometimes you can't even see the floor plan that you want to buy. Sometimes you can, and other times you can't. But somebody that actually gets what that looks like so they can ask you the questions around what it is you think you're seeing on paper versus what is really going to be there in real life.
Yeah. Once I went in with my client. They were buying a premium lot facing the water, a lake. They weren't on the water, but it looked over the lake, and they were super excited about it. And I'm looking at this floor plan in this house to be built, and there is not one window on the side that faces the water, and yet they're really excited about it. So we reworked with the builder to add the windows on that side so they could enjoy it and soak it up.
Not just outside, inside too,
not standing in their front yard, So, or on their side yard, sorry. So it was just educating. Once they saw, you wouldn't realize that always until it was built, and then it's too late. So it's always a good idea to have someone that can envision it.
Right. So a third party that has your best interest at heart. So that's really where I was going a few minutes ago is we're invested in you because we're invested in helping and serving and being with your family for the long haul.
Yes.
I mean, we hang out with our clients at family gatherings every quarter. if we haven't done a good job for somebody, chances are they're not coming to hang out with us, and we probably don't want them to. So there is a guarantee, really, and guarantee is such a strong word, and yet there's the setup to make sure that that actually happens.
Yeah.
So that we can protect your interest. And it used to be people felt, well, why would I have a realtor unless you can save me money off the purchase price?
Yeah.
Well, that generally isn't going to happen today. Usually the price is the price is the price, except there's so many hidden aspects that you're actually paying for, even what upgrades to do.
Yeah.
Because the builder makes their money, a lot of their money, on the upgrades. The average they're saying is 40 to 60,000 on a new build that people are spending on upgrades at the design center. Sometimes it's 20. I haven't seen very many do it for zero.
No.
Sometimes it's 100, sometimes it's 150. It can really get carried away. And yet knowing which ones are going to be good in the long haul. And I've even had times where we priced out doing the hardwood after they moved in.
Yes.
And it was less than the upgrade. That's not true across the board. And yet you want to know which builders and you want to know which times, and you just want to have access to the right pricing to know what makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then financing, Candace.
Yeah. So you want to be careful because there may be interest rate on closing.
That's different.
That's different than when you're purchasing, because often they're half a year plus out, even more than that.
A year and a half.
Yeah. We've had some that 2 years delayed over time. And then the other thing is your pre-approval. Your pre-approval doesn't last that long. So as much as you're pre-approved when you purchase the property, you actually need the finance approval at the end, a year and a half, sometimes later.
Right.
What if you lose a job, or what if someone passes away, or life circumstances change drastically, and all of a sudden you are committed to purchasing this, but you don't have the same income or ability to purchase it as
Or
you
you don't even want it anymore.
Right?
Now, the good news is if that happens in our Ottawa market, as long as you can close on it, or you have built into the agreement, which again is generally not in a standard build-it agreement. However, we have had and helped many clients build in an assignment clause.
Right.
So that you have the ability to sell it to someone else prior to moving in if the situation were to arrive that you now no longer actually want to move in. Or if you were buying it for investment purposes, because that's one nice thing with new home builds in a market that's escalating.
Yes. Then by the time you usually pay a lot less for it than you would the year and a half later.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the advantages with a new home build.
Yes.
And then you're generally not in competition like you would be with resales, which we were talking about a little earlier, except you're right.
Yep.
Sometimes people line up down the street in some of the new home sales sites. As
overnight.
Overnight.
Yeah. Yep. They line up waiting for that next one to be released. Yeah.
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 So if you're thinking, you know what, I need more information, you could pick up the phone and we would love to have a consult, an initial 15-minute free, no obligation phone conversation. Or if you just want to gather more information because you're not ready to talk to anybody, we do have over 367 episodes of the Inside Track where you can just learn about everything really to do with real estate. And if we've missed something that you're thinking needs to be there, you can reach out to us and we will certainly create a show around that.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.